The core of every story. Before I begin teaching you the specifics of my outlining method, before you can run freely through the literary wilds sans pants, let's talk about why this method works so well, and why you can apply it to your writing regardless of the age of your audience, your genre, or the length of the work. Remember earlier in this book when I said that story is a very particular thing, and that every reader responds favorably to certain deep-down, core elements of story? It's absolutely true, and it's such a ubiquitous feature of narrative writing, and of the reading experience, that you probably aren't even aware of it. Most people aren't, even if they've been reading and writing for decades. When I finally figured this out, I walked around starry-eyed for days, struck by this colossal aha moment. The ability to identify a story's true heart and to see that it is exactly the same as the heart of every other good story, when you really get down to the brass tacks, is a real revelation. It's also, paradoxically, a total no-duh moment. In the same instant that you grasp what story really is, and gain that magical ability to identify the true core of any story, you also realize that it was staring you in the face all along. You just didn't notice it because sound story structure is so familiar to all of us that we don't see it unless we know we ought to look for it. The outlining method I'll teach you has this story core at its heart. Yes, I'm going to capitalize that phrase from here on out because it's very important, and I want you to remember it. Everything else you learn in this book will build on the story core. So take a few moments to ponder the core and then apply it to all the good stories you've ever consumed, via reading, watching movies or TV, watching a ballet or opera, etc. The story core. Every compelling story has the following 5 elements. 1. A character. 2. The character wants something. 3. But something prevents him from getting what he wants easily. 4. So he struggles against that force. 5. And either succeeds or fails. The story core is always there in every good book. Sometimes its elements can be a little misty and vague and difficult to discern. But if the story compels, you'll find the story core at its heart. It doesn't matter whether it's an action-packed sci-fi adventure, or a romance, or a kid's picture book, or an introspective literary novel that appears to focus more on pretty prose than on a definable plot. If you feel compelled to keep reading, you'll find the story core at work. And when the story core is treated with the outlining method I'll teach you in the pages ahead, it grabs hold of the human mind and makes it virtually impossible for a reader to look away. Don't believe me that the story core is at the center of every good book? Let's look at a few examples, ranging across several different genres. We'll revisit a few of these examples later in the book, and look at some new examples too, to illustrate how the story core concept can be effectively expanded through the steps of a complete outline.